Hi out there, it's me, Eloise, and today's video is brought to you by the number 8,698, which is how many words I have written so far in Book 2 of Legend of the Amazons. It's been a while. How y'all doing? Today's video is going to be a review of the last 2 months as far as what I have managed to achieve in my writing and self-publishing journey, and also a brief discussion of my goals for the next month and how I plan on achieving them and the lessons that I've learned in the last 2 months. January is already a busy month for me work-wise. As an accountant, I have about 15 clients who I need to wrap up the books for the month to provide to the CPAs for their tax returns, but I also have to prepare 1099s for my clients, and that deadline to the IRS is the last day of January. So it's already a busy month for me. I already knew that I was going to not have a whole lot of time to write and do YouTube and things like that. And then January 2nd, I had a work meeting. The condensed version of it is that one of my larger clients imploded. That impacted my ability to do anything other than work, parent, and try and keep my house from becoming a natural disaster. The first half of January, I was very focused on this one client doing triage kind of accounting, get these guys stable. And the second half of the month was spent taking care of the rest of my clients that I kind of ended up neglecting at the first half of the month. And this is all in addition to all of the tax deadline type situation. So basically, January was just a whole dumpster fire as far as anything outside of work went. That being said, I still managed to do a final proofread because I had started flipping through my book just for shits and giggles. I noticed a typo. Oh, that's just one. And then I looked at another page and found another typo and quickly realized, oh no, I need to do a third proofread. So I spent the last weekend in January frantically proofreading my book, and I got that all done. So I updated the files, but since I'm a newbie, I made some newbie mistakes with KDP, which I'll be talking about in another video. Long story short, my author copies that I got on February 3rd in preparation for the signing event that I had planned on the 10th were the wrong version. So that resulted in me having to reschedule my author event, which I still don't really have a date for, which is a bummer. Lessons learned, I'm not gonna make that mistake again. To learn more about that mistake, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my video that comes out next Friday where I talk about that. So that was January. Lots of work, no writing, proofreading, frantic. I was a hot mess the whole month. Coming into February, my workload wasn't as much, so I was able to breathe and actually focus a bit more on my writing as well. I had more free time for that. I spent the first few days in February making reels and posts about my book, and that did well. On the 6th, my debut novel released to the world, and I had a virtual release party, my first live event, which you can watch the playback. I'll link it if you want to see it. It was a lot of fun. The lovely Emma Bennett co-hosted with me and really made it awesome. The turnout in my chat was fantastic. I felt so loved and supported by so many people, and even the people that didn't attend my virtual release, those who shared my posts on social media, I just felt so much love and support from everyone. It was a fantastic release, and the number of reviews I have and the number of copies I sold, I am over the moon. I had zero expectations, so I just can't believe that the number of people who have read my book, like something that I've written, and still, I don't think I'll ever get over it. If you are interested in learning more about Maiden of Artemis or Legend of the Amazons, please make sure to subscribe to this channel or go follow me on Instagram or subscribe to my newsletter. February has allowed me to actually get started working on Book 2 of Legend of the Amazons. Book 2 has been a much different drafting experience than Book 1. Book 1 I started back in 2019 as a means of escapism from studying for my CPA exam. So it was a really fun way to have my mind go somewhere else. And now I am trying to complete the first draft of Book 2 in 3 months. Except for January, I didn't write anything. I have a vacation that I'm going on in April, and I really want to finish writing the first draft before then. So I had already gone into 2024 thinking, okay, I'm going to write this first draft in about 3 months. Now it's the end of February and I've only written about 8,000 words. I am not even halfway through my draft and I don't know how I'm going to manage to write this whole draft before my vacation, but I'm gonna try to do it. Because of the amount of time that I am trying to condense this draft into, there's a few other things that I'm doing differently. The first is kind of hopping around from one chapter to another. In book 1, I wrote it very chronologically, but this one, I wrote the prologue and then I didn't know how I wanted to start chapter 1, so I started writing chapter 2. I wasn't sure how it was going to affect the writing as a whole. I've never written out of chronological order before. It's funny because as I was writing chapter 2, the characters were like, we've already talked about this, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, well, clearly they needed to have talked about that in chapter 1. So that's working out for me. I'm not getting too far ahead. I'm not writing like chapter 18. I'm not even sure why I don't want to jump that far ahead. Maybe I will. We shall see. Depends on my level of desperation, because there's definitely some chapters that I already know exactly what's going to happen in them, if you know what I mean. The other thing that I'm doing a bit differently to write this book is to actually use writing sprints in the way that I'm supposed to be using them. So previously, doing writing sprints or writing sessions, I would sit down for an hour and I would just like write, and I would just be like, nah, 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 and then see what I got, and it is what it is. Any writers who have used sprints properly are going to be like, wow, Eloise, I thought you were better than this. I essentially went and took a writing speed test. The fastest speed that I can write is about 73 words per minute, which in a 15-minute sprint is 1,140 words per sprint. That's me basically like copying a textbook or something like that. Half of that is 570 words, half of that is 285 words. A quarter of my top speed is closer to probably the realistic speed that I could write in a 15-minute sprint, where I'm trying to envision things and write the dialogue and make it sound good. I actually have a target word count for my 15-minute writing sprints is 285 words per sprint. Don't ask me why I never had like a goal before. I have no explanation. I'm a goofy goober. With that in mind, now when I sit down in the evening after my son's gone to bed to do some writing sessions, I can do a 15-minute sprint, aim for that 285 or above, and if I do 4 sprints, broken up by 10-minute breaks, 15-minute breaks, I can get 1,000 words a day. And that was my goal this whole time. It's just 1,000 words a day. Why do I make it so hard on myself? That's been my writing and self-publishing work activity. What else has been going on in the past couple months? I celebrated my birthday on the 9th. Huzzah! I have also started going to the gym, which is exciting because I work a fully remote job that is generally sedentary, and usually the only reason why I leave the house is to take my son to school or go grocery shopping, or if I'm very bored, go to Target and spend money that I don't need to spend. And my main hobby, writing, is something that can be done at home. So I've started doing that, and that's been really great. Nothing else has really been happening over here. I have not read books. I am the worst reader on the face of the planet. I've bought a lot of books. I bought a lot of indie books to support my author-tuber friends because they have been so wonderful. I've met so many wonderful people on here and annoy the crap out of them. I don't know why they keep like wanting to talk to me. One even interviewed me, Nicole. Nicole's super cool. What do I have planned for March? I have some very exciting things in the works that I'm going to be sharing with my newsletter subscribers. So if you haven't already, subscribe to that so you can get very exciting Legend of the Amazons related news straight to your inbox. I promise I do not send you enough to spam you. I'm lucky if I remember to send it out once a month. I'm the worst. In March, I plan on getting better about sending out newsletters and doing social media reel posts. I will also be posting YouTube videos more frequently now that I'm actually have time to do the things. Non-book related, I'm going to be going to Las Vegas to visit my best friend and meet her newest addition to her family. I'm so excited to do that. hopefully I'm able to keep writing during that week. I need to keep writing during that week. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. You're one of my favorite people. That's all I have for you this week. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Until next time, take care. Bye.
Do you like writing? Yes, I like writing. Do you like mythology? Yes, I like mythology. Do you like my videos? Yes, I like your videos. Then what are you waiting for? Subscribe.